Well, here we go. I believe we're ready to go live. Took us a little minute, this computer to come on and decide it was ready to go on into the airwaves, but here we are. We're going live into our live at 5. We should be going live on YouTube. We should be live on Facebook. We should be live on Twitter. And we should be live on Instagram. Should be in all the places. We here at our regular time. It's just that there is lots to discuss on Tier Day. Lots to discuss on today, as they say, on today. I'm trying to shut some things down. Maybe that'll give us a little more boost as far as it won't be fighting. I won't be fighting with the pieces. Okay, so it is Sunday, July 21st. It is all day. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. 5 o'clock is probably between afternoon and evening, but hey, what you confused about? We had a call at 3:30, and then we've been doing Sunday at 3:30 for the last few weeks, and then we had our regular YouTube. So we're here for regular YouTube, but at 3:30 we got on because we've been doing Sundays for a little while as we've been working on our chart your way to 100K. Right? We've been doing Sunday afternoons. Y'all forgot about that, huh? Did we not do it last Sunday? We did it last Sunday, did we? The weeks is running together for me. 2 weeks ago, I know we didn't do it because I was out of town, but I thought we did it Sunday. No, I was with my grandkids last Sunday. So it's been a couple weeks since we did it. You're right. Okay. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Janae. Hey, Royal Diadem. Hey, Abra. Hey, y'all. How we doing? Okay. So everybody's heard the news. The Democratic candidate for president has decided he's stepping down and announced that the vice president will step into the ticket, or I guess he has what's the word? Endorsed. Here we go. He has endorsed the vice president. Where is the Zoom info on Sunday? I put it it's in the Telegram chat. As soon as I said, I'll see you at 3:30, it was attached to that same message. That's where the Zoom link was. So, anyway, I'm trying to be nice and politically correct with my comments, but I feel like I really want to know, not that I think the person who's been endorsed is not capable, because I really don't know that they are not capable, but I really also feel like we ain't got no bench. Where's our bullpen? We ain't got nobody in the succession plan. Like, what was the plan? We didn't have one. We just gonna wing it, and. Yes, we just winging it. Either way, the market this coming week, which is what we're here to talk about. Let me stay on the topic at hand. The topic at hand is the market. The market is going to be volatile tomorrow and probably subsequent days, right? I'm going to show you. The VIX is now at 1652. Remember on Friday, I talked about how the VIX, we've seen it at 18 and 20 and suchy. The fear index, yeah, it's at 1652. 1652 isn't really bad. When I say it's not bad, we've seen it. Yeah, but underneath the message where I wrote in the message, it says see you at 3:30. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my train of thought. Either way, the market is going to be an interesting place to be. The VIX, there we go, has been at 16, is at 1652 right now. It's been here before, 18, 20, 22, 24. I've seen it up there. Some people said they've seen it even higher. I've not in my trading time have seen it any higher than that. But this is the volatility and or fear index, which will include folks who, include the people who are like wondering what is going on, right? Hey, Mr. Marion, how you doing? I just saw your name. People who wonder what's going on. People who are wondering what is going on. But you listen, what's our rule here? Our rule, trade what you see. Trade what you see. Janae said people might do what they did with Netflix and start pulling out despite decent earnings. Could be. It definitely could be. It's already time for sector rotation. Sector rotation is already happening. So this is maybe opportunity to rotate some sectors, rotate from one thing, which maybe one of the reasons why IWM has been running. Not this isn't in itself a reason, but I almost kind of feel like, though, this is the other piece. I really kind of feel like this has been priced in. And the reason I say this is because when I mentioned to my husband that he was in the grocery store when I saw the message, and when he came back to the car, I said, Biden pulled out of the race. And he said, yeah, they were talking about that last week. And I was like, whew, I missed that. But he said there was discussion about it last week, that he already had the letter written and all this stuff last week. So with all that being said, this announcement might already be baked in. But as Royal Diadem says, next 4 months are going to be interesting. This is true. Hey, Ward. So this coming week, what we do have as far as, scheduled meetings is Monday. We don't have anything. Tomorrow, we don't have anything on the list for tomorrow. But Tuesday, we've got existing home sales and Richmond Manufacturing Index. Yes, the October surprise definitely came early. Those are orange folders. Wednesday, we've got the goods trades balance, preliminary wholesale inventories, flash manufacturing PMI, which is a red folder. PMI is red folder. Flash services that's Wednesday morning at 9:45. New home sales, crude oil inventories, 4:05. We've got FOMC members speaking. Thursday, we've got GDP data, the gross domestic product. That's always a red folder. Unemployment claims, orange folder, GDP index, core domestic goods, durable goods. Sorry, durable, not domestic. Natural gas storage and G20 meetings. Oh, the G20 meetings. They start on Thursday. They need to put a red right here because that G20 meeting, the elections cause issues with these meetings. And Friday at 8:30, PCE is going to be before the market opens. Personal income, personal spending, 10 o'clock, University of Michigan. Y'all notice how University of Michigan usually is red. Now it don't turn to orange and yellow. I guess they figure other stuff is really more red than this is, but now it's orange and yellow. And then the G20 meeting continues for those two. So as far as meetings go, we've got a red folder 3 of the 5 days next week or this week coming up. We've got red folder. So that's going to cause, it's going to give us our own piece of, stuff to do. Here we go. Breaking news: Biden exits the presidential race, endorses Harris as the Democrats' successor. Stocks that make up the Trump trade. Google inflation data. Biden fallout. What to know this week. Should media companies be focused on M&A consolidation? What's M&A consolidation? M&A, consolidation. I don't know what M&A is. Decoding the Trumponomics. Investors react to Biden pulling out the presidential race. Hey, listen, we can definitely look at the pre-market on ES 500 or SPX 500. The ES really doesn't start till 6 o'clock. So there's still like an hour, a little less than an hour before we start seeing what the ES will do, because of course that's futures, and the futures is going to show its hand. They open at 6 tonight, and I'm sure we'll be able to see some stuff. We'll be able to see some stuff. The Dow tumbles more than 370 points. This can't be today. S&P posts worst week. I don't know if this is, I just opened it today, but Pelosi spoke to Biden the day before he dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. Wonder what he said. Tell us what he said. Don't tell us you talked to him. We don't care that you talked to him. We don't care that you talked to him. We want to know what he said. Oh my goodness. We want to know what was said. We don't care that you talked to him. It's good for you. M&A, mergers and thank you, Jamie. M&A is mergers and acquisitions. Thank y'all, Janae and Jamie. Appreciate y'all. How would the election affect the market? Well, we'll definitely be speculating, but I'm sure it's gonna have some impacts. There we go. That's a good word for it. It's gonna have some impacts. Well, let's look at earnings because we are still in the middle of earnings season. It's weird because sometimes you get these weird, you get these news flashes and you have to deal with the information as it comes. So here's our earnings for the week. We've got Verizon tomorrow morning before market opens, Truist, IQVIA, Caspi, Dynex, the Beach of the Bank. Oh my goodness, I'm just thrown. The Bank of Hawaii and HBT Financial. That's all tomorrow morning before market opens. On Monday after close, we've got Cleveland Cliffs, Nucor, NXP, SAP, MedPace, Crown, Cadence, AGNX, Alexandria, and Zions Bancorp. Tuesday morning, we got Spotify and UPS. I don't know if Lisa's on the call today. UPS will be Tuesday morning. GE Aerospace, GE broke off their self into pieces, which probably was a good thing. Some of those businesses weren't doing as well. I think before, I used to work for GE back at the beginning of my career. That's the first company I worked for as an engineer. And we had like 13 divisions, and there was times that some of the divisions just weren't carrying, and the whole company was trying to carry all the divisions, and even then there was discussions about separating off some of the divisions. But at that time, Jack Welch was the CEO, and he wanted to keep everything in one boat. But along the way, they decided that this boat is kind of sinking. We need to figure out how to separate off some pieces so maybe some of these boats can keep floating. All right. So GE Aerospace is going to be Tuesday morning. General Motors, Coca-Cola is Tuesday morning. Freeport McManus, maybe that is. Lockheed Martin, Comcast, Polaris. And looks like that's Philip something at the bottom. So then, Tesla's Tuesday morning. People love trading Tesla, and it's got the moves. Tesla's got the moves. I got the moves. Tesla's got the moves. So a lot of people like trading it. So, but it's got earnings Tuesday morning. So if you're trading it, do Monday and then let Tuesday. It's Tuesday after close, so you can probably trade Monday and Tuesday if you want to trade Tesla like that. Alphabet or Google is going to be Tuesday. I wonder if Google, GOOGL, has earnings on Tuesday. Does that affect GOOG? Anybody know if Google? I would say probably yes, but Google and Google are two different stocks, and they're both the same company though, so it kind of would make sense that they will both be affected. EMPH is Tuesday earnings. Visa is Tuesday earnings. Texas Instruments, Chubb, Seagate, Capital One there. Cole Main Foods, and PCA is all Tuesday after market closes. Wednesday is Vertiv, AT&T, Amphenol, Lamb Weston, NextEra Energy, Thermo Fisher, Tenet Health, GE Vernova. What is GE Vernova? Who are they? GEV. I don't think I've ever heard of them. General Dynamics and Boston Scientific. Wednesday after close, Chipotle. Has Chipotle split yet? They did. They split a while back. Ford, ServiceNow, IBM, Viking, Sands, Newmont, Celestica, Whirlpool, and Waste Management are all Wednesday after close. Thursday morning, we got American Airlines, AbbVie, or ABBV, however you people pronounce it crazy ways. Hasbro, Honeywell, RTX, New York Community Bank, Southwest, Keurig, and Dr. Pepper. Oh, I didn't think I knew that Keurig and Dr. Pepper was all one company. AstraZeneca and Valero is all Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, Dexcom, Skechers, Texas Roadhouse, The Bread, Decker Brands, Boston Beer, Juniper, Lending Tree, not sure, DOC, Appfolio, and NOV. Maybe it's NOV. I think that's an NOV. And then Friday morning, Bristol Myers Squibb, 3M, Charter, Booz Allen Hamilton, Saya, Centene, Portland General Electric, Is that the same GE people? Maybe it's somebody else. Colgate, Palmolive, Barnes, and T. Rowe Price. Lots of earnings. Lots of earnings going on. Janae says one is private and one is public. Okay. Okay. I was just going to say it's two stocks, one company. Yeah, I feel like it's all one place. Give GE Vernova is their energy company. Okay. Thank you, Janae. GE Vernova, an energy company, engages in the provision of various product services that generate, transfer, orchestrate, convert, and store electricity. I've not looked at GE like that, but I really would like to see how they are performing separately and now that they've split all up. You know, just general curiosity, because like I said, I used to work for GE back when I first graduated college back in 1992. I spent 4 or 5 years with GE. I did. I enjoyed working for them for the most part. They were still kind of good old boys-ish, and it was tough a lot of days. I was an engineer. I am an engineer, and I was working as an engineer for them, and sometimes it was tough. It was real tough. Okay, so option seller trade ideas from last week. Let's talk about our results from last week in the midst of the foolery that was in last week. In the midst of the foolery. Because, a couple days of the week, the market just tanked. The semis got hit super hard. Tech is looking kind of weak. I think Janae was like, I'm trying to find something that's not tech. Yeah, because a lot of stuff is, and that's what the common names are being mentioned are the tech things. But tech took a hit last week. Tech took a hit. That's me taking a hit, by the way. That was my movement. Ooh. Anyway, last week we had 67% win rate, even in the midst of all the volatility and the foolishness. Yes. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Even in the midst of all that was going on last week, we still came out with 8 out of 12 profitable trades on this list. Now, some people I know picked the things that weren't profitable. And, I want to say we want to win them all, but that is not part of the trading game. But 2 of the iron condors were completely 100% profitable. Baidu had a drop on the put credit spread side. PDD also had a drop on the put credit spread side. Notice everything that was put credit spreads is where we saw problems because of the big drops that was happening during the week last week. Amazon actually closed at like 182 or 183, somewhere in there. It was breached a lot. But now I want to say, and Oracle was also breached. When you are trading our credit spreads, you absolutely must, taking this off our screen, you must, I want to make sure everybody sees me. Can y'all see me? You must, for a long time, I didn't believe this, but now I believe it. I believe it. You have to have some kind of stop loss plan in place. You must have a stop loss plan in place because whether it's a 2X or 3X, I think we've talked about it a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. 2X your premiums, 3X your premiums. You've got to have a place where you will pull the plug. You will pull the plug. Another way to look at that too, though, I don't get how Amazon drops on Prime days. That really, what are y'all doing? This is your time to shine. One thing I would also look at is, for example, if like Amazon had dropped a good bit. If you look at the ATR for those and you look at that plus minus number, if you don't see that the plus minus, that it, let's say, for example, let's say Amazon dropped to 182, but the plus minus number was, let's say 4, right? That means even if it did the full plus, it would go from 182 to 186. So if you had 190 as your strike and it's, outside potential is 186, that lets you know that it may not recover to this same place. I hope I'm making that clear. So if you got 187, because our strikes were 187.5, 190, right? So let's say you've got 190 as your strike. Let's say you followed this trade exactly. Amazon drops to 182. So it's 8 points below your sell leg strike. And then you look at the plus minus number on Thinkorswim or that implied volatility number, and it says 4. It says the most it's going to move between that day and Friday was probably 4 more points. You're at 182, add 4 to that. The most it's probably going to come up is like 186. Maybe, that's a 186 possibility. but that's not 190. So if you see that the ATR of that volatility number is not going to get you back to your strike, that's another indication that you need to go ahead and just shut it down. Shut it down. Just shut it down. All right. Go on to the other side. Go on to, maybe in this case, you could have gone on to a call credit spread, or just close it and go on to another stock. I mean, there's so many things. Hey, Stacy, there's things you can do, right? Use these tools that we have, our plus minus number, what was the probability of the money for that new strike after it don't fell, all the bottom fell out of it, what could possibly have been. So use, and all else fails, of course, let's talk in the chat to say in the Telegram, Arlissa, I feel like this may not come back. What should I do? If you're not sure, we can talk about it and we can give options and you can decide which ones. I don't decide for people. That's not what I do. First of all, that's not me. I don't give investment advice. I will talk to you about what could be the possibility. What do we see in the chart? What's going on? What could it possibly do? And then you make a decision. Okay. But you got to have a plan as to when you're going to cut, when you're going to cut bait, as they say. When are you going to cut bait? All right. So last week, 87% win rate. Whoop, whoop, we did it last week again. That was the second week of 67. Sorry, 67, not 87. That was the second week we did 67% win rate. I want to remind you yet again that our Credit Spreads Masterclass is going to be this coming Saturday. Credit Spreads Masterclass, July 27th at 11 o'clock. I am totally convinced, so much so that this is what I teach all the time. And if I wasn't convinced, I promise you I wouldn't be here. I'm not one who's trying to sell anybody going one way, like, let's go this way, but while I go some other way. No. I'm totally convinced that credit spreads will help you grow your small, medium, or large account. Of course, the bigger your account is, the more you leverage and clout you got to play with or trade with. Now, I don't like to call it playing, that you have to trade with. But definitely, I'm a fan of credit spreads. Y'all already know. And we can teach you how do we find our strikes, how do we find our stocks, how do we find our strikes, how do we determine what's good premiums, how do we exit, how do we defend, all the good things, right? That is a sassy image, huh? All the things. We got all the things on how you can work with credit spreads and iron condors. And we're going to talk about that next Saturday. If you haven't registered, then go ahead and register. Register for the Credit Spreads Masterclass at http://educatortotrader.com. Okay, I think we did do our last week's call. We just did it after this call. We talked about it after this call. Let's see if there we go. Looks like Thinkorswim is trying to get opened up so we can do some charting. Yeah, those gray locks were cute. Aren't those cute? I thought so. I tried to get it to do salt and pepper, like gray and black, or so, kind of mix it in, but the avatar didn't want to play right. So we work with what we work with what it gives us. Yes, we do. Okay. This is our master class for next week. If you're going to come, you want to be a part of that, definitely make sure that you go ahead and sign up. So we've got our list. Our list is small again this week. Looks like we got 7 trades that are on this list this week. And this list comes from Peakbot. Use peakbot.com/E2T. This list comes from Peakbot, the Peakbot watch list. I get the stocks from the lower risk area of the watch list, and then I put on the strikes. Peakbot provides strikes. I know, and they're fine. I don't really look to check to see if theirs match mine. I go and do a little look-see and see what I agree with for strikes, or what I believe is good for strikes, and that's what I put on as these strikes. So we've got these for the week 7. That means, listen, nobody should have too much trouble picking one, and that's what I'm going to encourage, not just my folks, but even me. We're going to pick one, and pick 1, pick 2. We don't have as many to choose from this time, and see which one of these do I want to do. Which one of these do you want to do? right? Let's go to charts. I'm going to get us, we got BAC, Morgan Stanley, Oracle, Pfizer, Tyson, Disney, and Exxon. Exxon. Yeah, Exxon is one we definitely like. We definitely like that. Let's go. I'm going to take us to, anybody else see something? Not a whole lot to, now, if you got a stock that you're trading, that you're working with every week, then keep running that. We're going to definitely hit SPY and Triple Q. We're going to look at those and see what's going on in those areas. And then we'll look at SPY, Triple Q, DIA. Because now, listen, you can't be ignoring DIA because DIA and IWM. Because now there's stuff happening. I'm trading the screens, okay? This list is based off of trends. Yes, this list is based off of the 67 period, 67-day EMA. That's what this list is based off of. 67 period. I want to say it's 67. It might have moved to 50. I'm going to say 50-day because I know they were talking about the 50-day EMA is what they were going to switch it. So because we needed more closer time, on the EMAs. All right, so this is SPY. We honestly could go with SPX. Okay, we're on the daily chart of SPX. I'm going to clear off. If y'all see some stuff that I miss on these charts, I need you to speak up in the comments and say, well, I see so-and-so, right? We're going to try to make this interactive. How do you go interactive on YouTube? I got to figure out how can I be live in my community and live here. I was on a live yesterday. That was, the person has a Discord and they were live in the Discord and they were also live streaming to YouTube. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so this is the daily chart of SPX. Support is here at 5,500. No shock there, seeing that 5,500 is a that one of those psychological numbers, right? Actually, this gap is not accurate. The gap goes from the close to the open, and the close of this candle is the top of this green one, goes down to the open of the next candle. So that really is the gap. Okay, that is the entirety of the gap. Now, a little bit of the gap got filled. A little bit of price action went up to 56.21. 56.21 is what I'm going to show it here. I'm not sure if it'll show up as a darker one, and it didn't. That's the part of the gap that has yet to be filled. Edit properties. I'll turn this to a little bit darker color. That's the part of the gap that has not been filled. Okay, so if we were to try to go back up, SPX is looking kind of, you know, we got a lot of headwinds, and we were definitely at all-time highs. For sure, 56.69 is where we went, and we've definitely pulled back to about 5,500. There's resistance at 55.73. Has to do with this area over here. So 2 down, which time frame continuity is going to look like it still wants to go on down. Let's go to the weekly chart. Nope, I want to go to the weekly chart, not the monthly chart. Talk about a bit of an engulfing candle going in the other direction on the weekly. For my candlestick folks, definitely an engulfing going in the other direction. And we've got some support at 54.66. So it could fall a little bit further. On the weekly chart, our support is down a bit more. 54.63. We're not quite there yet. So there could be a little bit more downwards motion, some more motion in the ocean. And this news today hadn't helped that a tad. Hadn't helped it a tad. This is at 3. So we've got a broadening formation that's just been formed here too. We do connect these, the high and the high. I don't really like it from here to here, but let's go with it. The low and the low. There we go. And then you take that broadening formation, or that magnitude as it's sometimes called, and bring it back down to the daily. It can show you what could be your trends, your trend lines. Okay, so I put on that formation that showed the expansion there. And then now you see that if we come back down to this line, if there's a little bit of room coming down a little bit more, which puts us almost back in line with this 54.63 I just mentioned. All right, so let's keep in mind the 67 period. I think I was going to change this to 50. Edit the study. I want it on the 50 period moving average, because we talked about the trend. What is the trend going on? Now, we usually use this trend thing for those other stocks in that area. But if we look here at the trend on SPY or SPX, the trend is still going up. It does seem to be kind of leveling off a bit. I'll say it's going up. If you look at the overall trend, you know, we can see it's going up. And these pullbacks do happen. This is what I want to do. One more thing. Let me see if I can grab a Fibonacci. That's not the one I want. Which one is the one I want? Oh, there we go. Fibonacci extensions. I want to go from the high of this. Nope. Come on. Let me get bigger so I can get more exact to see what are we pulling back from. Not there. Here. We're going to go from the low here. No, that's not what I wanted either, I don't think. To there. That's not what I wanted. Oh, it can be, but I don't think that's what I wanted. Oh, come on. Jamie, if you're on the call, stop. Oh, you know what? That's taking us, that's extending us. 1, 2, 3. I don't want that one. I think I want, is this it? There it is. That's the one I want. I want the Fibonacci retracement, not the Fibonacci extension. There we go. Fibonacci. It's next to that one. There we go. Retracement. I want to go from the low to the high. Maybe I should have went from the high to the low. There we go. So I'm not sure if you all can see that. To see how far what have we pulled back to, right? So we pull back, usually after you pull back to the 61.8, which is 61.8 is this line right here where my mouse is. This is the 61.8, and it's pulled back even further to the 79. Now it did come to the 70, 79, 78.6, sorry, and turn and pull back a little bit off that. But generally, if it goes past that 61, it might keep on going, you know, a turnaround round, right? So this is what we're looking at on there. We're right at the 78. Well, it was on Friday. It came down to the 78. And it's, pull back just a taste. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. We're going to see what happens tomorrow, because there's happenings, okay? This is triple Q chart. See what happened last week. This was last week, this big old drop in tech. Gap down. This is called a gap and go. It gapped down and kept going. That gap is going to want to be filled, though. We do want that gap to be filled. The market is going to want that gap to be filled. But tech was already struggling, but we have a gap down here that still hasn't been filled yet. The gap from June the 11th. That gap hasn't been filled. So triple Q might come on down here and get it. Going and then going on back up. Hopefully it will do just that. Okay, I want to type. There we go. You also see here that the 50-period moving average is kind of leveling off too. We've been on an upwards trend with them as well, but we've got a gap up at the top, a gap from, what is this, 488 all the way up to 496. That's a good size gap. And we've got one now from 472 down to 468. Janae says I might consider banks at this time. That's what's on the list, because these right here. These right here is looking questionable. The Dow Jones Industrial, the DIA. This is a lot of this is looking like like what are we doing? Okay. So on daily chart, we're on DIA. We've got gap here. Most of it, about 50% of this gap has been filled. I always mark the entire gap though, because I want to see what it is, but we've got some more. We've got more of these, more of the same for DIA if you're trading DIA or looking at DIA. That one needs to be adjusted, because I didn't, even though I need to go up to, there we go. Another itty bitty one down here. There's several gaps that are on DIA. I don't know, did anybody trade DIA? Like as a full trade? Might trade stuff that's in DIA. We've got resistance up here. I should have marked the resistance on SPX, a few of those. There's going to be a support right here at this line. At the 402, there is support, and there will be support at the bottom of this gap at 397. We having fun. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Let's see what IWM decided last week. Well, the other week. Last week. Was it last week? Week before last? This is what IWM was doing. It pulled back off that high, though. This gap we can consider filled. But there's some more that are waiting down here in the wings. Like, oh, we still here. We got something for you. We got something for you, ma'am. In case you weren't sure, we still here. Several gaps down here that are, of course, gaps will provide support along the way, but the price can just one day decide we went up 5 days straight and we can just pull on back all the way. And you see it pull back through this first gap. It can definitely continue. Now we have, this is a 2 down candle. So the 2 down continuation, it could definitely continue on downwards to go ahead and grab some more of this juice and go where it's going. Janae, for banks, I usually also check with XLF. Yeah, definitely check XLF for the banks. Okay. That's what it's looking like on all of those. IWM, this little run has been kind of sitting, waiting to break out. And we can also look here at volume and see that the volume on this move down is kind of waning as well. So we probably need a check or a jump in our volume to see what's going on there. Okay, volume and all. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're talking about XOM. Let's go on to the stocks we were looking at. XOM. Well, let's look at XOM last week. See what it did on the weekly. XOM looks like it has an actionable signal bull reversal, which means a reversal going to the upwards direction on the weekly time frame. This is a big old wick. Big old wick. If I had that as a gap, I did, and it's now closed. But you know what? Let me pause this real quick because I can't get with all this stuff on here. Clear drawing set. There we go. Woohoo. Aye. The way my attention and my focus is set up. Let me make this one smaller so we can still see. There's an itty bitty bit of this gap left. Not much of it is left. Most of it is filled. This gap here got filled. We've got support here. I was thinking about gaps from green to red. If there's a green to red, then there could be gaps in places that don't necessarily get filled, but open from close to open. Yes, close to open. But price came back. Okay. See how our volume is picking up down here? XM, the volume is picking up and we've got some green movement. So let's see if we got support here. We've got support also at the bottom of that gap. That's almost filled. 113.25. What do we have for strikes? Let's see what we had on our list for strikes. I don't think I have that on there. $113 on the put side, $119 on the call side. It's up, but that last candle says sellers might be in control. Yes, definitely. That last candle definitely said the seller stepped right on back in to say not so much. Notice our 50-period moving average does show a bit of flatness, which is why it can maybe have an iron condor. All this big old wick, this is really what we call a shooter candle, which could potentially show some more downside, but there is some support. If we're looking at our trades, let me see if I can put this on larger than life so that way we can all see the numbers. I believe I said 113 and 119. If we go to the single, 113 is at 81%. 119 is 80% probability out of the money. So let's see what kind of money we could take in. Of course, the market is closed. So 113, nope, wrong one. 113, 112, 113. Of course, it's not paying $2. No, especially since the 113, 114 is paying $20. It's definitely not paying $2. 111, 112. 111, 112 is paying $18. So the one in between these two, which would be 112, 113, is definitely not paying $2. It's probably paying about 18 or 19. And then the 119 over here, 119 will be paying $13. So putting them together would pay you about $32. Last week's win rate was 87%, Curtis. Sorry, 67%. I keep wanting to say 87%. 67. What did I do? Oh, that's interesting. 67% win rate last week. 8 of 12 profitable trades. Completely profitable. 4 of them were fully breached. Okay, so 13 and the 18 or 19 is going to put you at what? $31 you can take in. That's going to be about a 30% return. You take in $30, close it for 50, 60%. You know, you keep $20 for yourself. If we want more money, we do more contracts. You want more money, you do more contracts. Cool. All righty. So that was Exxon. I thought I saw somebody put something in the chat for Palantir. I think that's what I saw Janae had typed. What else do we have on our list? Let's look at what's on the list for no problem. Palantir. Let's go to the chart. You know what I said on that weekly chart on that other one? I never went to the daily chart to see what the day had to offer on XOM. Who we see consolidation. Yeah. Y'all see how these long wicks, them sellers are like, no, you're not coming up here. You're not coming up here, sir. 27.33. There's another support right in here. I like the 28. It is still got an upwards move going, but this right here is showing, these wicks are showing that there's sellers that are stepping in. So let's look at it from the call credit spread side. Palantir from the call credit 28.58. Yep. And 76%, 76 probability of the money, or 82. I probably would go with the 30. Yeah, I might do 30.5. It depends. 30.5 for it is a 5 spread. 30.5, 31 is paying $9. That's a 18% return. You can go with why do you keep doing that? You can go with 30.5, which is also $9. That's weird. Or you can take and expand the spread to make it a little bigger. 30 to 31.5. That's paying, it shows $10. That's not accurate, but I wouldn't, you want more than $10 for your one spread. Definitely want more than that. That's Palantir on the call credit spread side. If you were going to go with the put credit spread side, plus minus 1.6, take away 1.6, we're at 27. 27 is a good probability out of the money too. So if we went down to 26.5, 27, that's paying $8. If you wanted to expand it to a full one spread, that's paying $13. If you wanted to iron condor it, you can take 13 on this side, 10 on the other side, and end up with $23 in premiums for Palantir. What else did we have on our banks list? BAC on the put credit spread, 41.5. Nope, not what I wanted you to do. Okay, this might actually offer some potential iron condor opportunities too. Got a gap here that has yet to be filled. From 85.47 up to the full gap is from 80, it's to 86.7, but some of it has been filled. So there's a little bitty bit. Y'all hear that thunder outside? Little bitty bit that has yet to be filled. Right? Put credit spread. Put credit spread with some upwards motion. It's really kind of been flat though. It's been coming down and it kind of leveled off after it came down to this, to the, what's this, 81.4. It went from there and bounced on up from there. Also have support in the 85 area. Oh, this is not even BAC. That's VAC. Who are these people? I kept thinking of the price. I had said the strike price was in the 40s, but this price was showing up something besides the 40s. I was like, wait a minute, this don't look like it's right. Okay, how about we do BAC? How about we do that? BAC, not VAC. We do have the bit of the gap that is still waiting to be filled. Okay. There's a gap here. Actually, that's been filled already. Price action filled that one. Put credit spread, I think we said 40, 41, 41.5. Single 41.5. 41.5 is paying $5. I'm not a huge fan of that as far as premiums go. The banks sounds good, but we have to get more premiums out of this. One way you can do that is you can look then at the chart and say, okay, I want to put on an alert. And the alert is, okay, I see support at 41.9. I see support here at the top of this gap too. Actually, that's not the top of the gap because the gap was someplace else. You say, I see some support here. And then when you get to, I want this one move. When you get to this support, you can put an alert on. I'm going to show you real quick how to do that. Put an alert on that says when we reach this gap, then we want to enter the trade, right? So you would right click if you think or swim, right click, and then you create an alert. Our support is at 42.59. So you can say at or below 42.50. Then this can be your alert that says enter put credit spread at, what do we say, 40.5, 41.5. Okay, so you can put that for yourself. That way, when it comes down to the support area, it's going to be an indication. It's going to alert you that it's getting into your area, and that you can then look to enter your trade. You want to make sure that it's coming closer to support or resistance, so that way you can get full premium off of your trades. Let's see what else I like on this list. Oh, I like Oracle. Let's look at Oracle. Disney has been a letdown. Have y'all been watching Disney? Anybody been watching Disney? Okay, there's our gap. A little bit of it hasn't been filled in yet. $138.09. Look at this though. All of this for Oracle. What does this let you know we ought to probably look at doing? What do y'all think? It's showing on an upwards trend because it's been slightly upwards this time. But for all this time, what's it been doing? Consolidating. It's been consolidating. Now, consolidation means when it finally does get to moving, it can move. It can get to moving, right? But you definitely want to be thinking about how this might give you an opportunity for an iron condor. It's been doing this for a minute. If we went all the way to the top of this range, 145.72, and if we went to the bottom of it, 138, you can actually go to the top of this gap, even 134. Let's go see what 145 and 134. See if those are, if there's some money we can look at there. I might have to get off here because of the thunder and the lightning. 143 here is 80%. 143 and 134. 143 and 134. 134 paying $14. And 143 paying $10 more, $24. Yep, iron condor. Oracle, just to see what, of course, we need to make sure we can see what happens this coming week. But even if we did just the put credit spread, at the strike I suggested, which I want to say was, I would have suggested either 134 or 135. We're on Oracle. 135 is what I put there. 134, 135. What do we have? Plus minus 4.9. That's going to feel a little one step a little closer. 134, 135. If we went with that vertical, that's paying $23. So if you just went with just the what we have in the chat. So you still could do that one Oracle for one. Now Oracle falls in the tech space, right? So you want to be mindful of what's going on with tech. But if you look at this chart, Oracle didn't well, I guess it responded about like everything else did last week. There's still some sellers in here. Y'all see that we do see that hammer there on the last day. Good. There we go. Still got a pretty good little wick. I mean, the sellers were still in here. The buyers tried to take it back up, but the seller said not so. So we definitely want to watch to see what happens here, whether it can go on to the downside. Definitely looking at some, if you're looking at some non-tech, even though Oracle wouldn't fall in that non-tech category. It wouldn't fall. Disney 93 and 99. Let's see what Disney's showing us. Anybody. So people were trading. They were really hoping Disney was going to get itself together. And then Disney just didn't, basically. It's showing up on the Iron Condor list, but it's looking a little more bearish to me. Looking a little more bearish. We got resistance at 98. Let me go see where some support is. This big old red candle here. It actually is in a support zone. It's right in the area. It kind of closed below it. Let me change this to a line chart so I can make sure I'm not missing anything. We got here, and then there's another support at 95.06 in that area. Anytime you can't see very clearly, you can't see the zones because the candles get convoluted, turn it to a line chart and you can see more clearly. Let's see what the volume's looking like there. The volume's kind of just sitting. It's rising a little bit here, but it's not, higher than any of these others. It's not high volume. Still going down. 95.06. Or if you wanted to do call credit spread, 98.33. I think on the list, though, what I say, 98 and 93. I think that's what I said. Oh, sorry. Y'all can't see my charts. I'm so sorry. 98 and 90. I look down like it's already on here. 98 and 93 is what I showed here. 98 as the call credit spread. Call credit spread, 98, 99. Sorry about that, y'all. And put credit spread. $92, $93. Yeah. Oh, and we can look at the money. 93 and 93 down here. 92, 93 is paying $14. 98, 99, $18. So $32 on the spread. It's definitely thunderstorms. Yes. Y'all know if y'all can hear it, but it is. $32 on Disney for the Iron Condor. Those are good premiums if you want to trade Disney. What else did we have we want to look at? Maybe one or two more. I'm going to do a quick look here to see. I don't know if the alerts list is going to show anything today, but the Peakbot alerts list, sometimes this is where you can look. It's, today the market is closed, but this watch list is updated every 5 minutes. It just is taking data and information. This is the Peakbot trend spread. All these are put credit spread ideas, but I would look here, to see what's maybe not on maybe which ones are not tech based, which I don't know if there is one. AbbVie's got earnings this week. All these are tech. GE has earnings this week. IBM may be one of interest, but I think it falls in the tech. AV Go is semis, and I'm not sure semis are done doing their thing. Is UPS seen as a tech stock? But they got earnings this week. Scratch. I don't know if anything on there is going to be a good look this week. Let's go see what NVIDIA looks like. MU may still have some downwards motion. Tech, I don't know if semis are finished falling. Not going to speculate, but I don't know if they're finished with their downward drop. Let's see if we get a weekly chart. Yep, actionable signal going down. That's a big old engulfing candle there as well. That is some resistance, though, when it tries to come back up. There's a gap here that's only partially filled. Gap between, looks like 109, sorry, 110, maybe that is, 110 and some change, all the way up to 113. This one here got filled, and so did that one. But there's some resistance up here that I don't think this is a weekly chart. So last week was definitely 2 down on the week. Took out these. It can continue down. Let's go to the daily chart. See what our day looks like. NVIDIA has a gap to the upside that it can try to go on and get. I need to see about putting my stuff up here, and not been successful with that. There's a small gap that's even down here that still has yet to be. Okay, the price action from here dipped down into this chinchy winchy gap. It was like at 116, and price action from Thursday dipped right into it to grab it. Grab that little gap from back here in June. That's what the notification that gaps do want to be filled. It may not feel all at one time, but they definitely want to feel. Definitely want to feel. Okay. This was NVIDIA we were looking at. Semiconductors. It will be one. I don't know if you'd pull up with. I want to see what the CrowdStrike looked like after Friday, because I know they got hammered. CRWD. By the time the market opened on Friday, look at the volume. All these little bitty volume candles in Friday was tremendous. Tremendous volume. Okay, so from the close to the open, and price action brings it back. So let's go here. This is the gap that still remains to be filled. That's going to be a ride. 342 down to 316. Oh, when it come back for that. Looks like price action got through this one, so that gap can be taken off. But this area got gapped over before. Look back here in June. This same area where we are right now got gapped over before. Gapped up here before. This is CrowdStrike. Not sure if anybody trades it. Part of this gap up here is filled, but not all of it. Not all of it. So semiconductors, you're going to want to be, definitely you're going to want to be mindful about what's happening with semiconductors if you're going to trade it, to trade any semiconductors. Edit that study. I need those numbers to look to where I can see them. My numbers are showing. Where's the color? I need a color. Let's see if I go to another one. There's supposed to be a color here. The plot's colors are dynamically set. What the world does that mean? I need to see the colors of the candles. Show the twos. Yep. Okay, well, the candles are showing white, but I need, see how these are showing white? I would like for them to show something besides white. I guess if I had the background dark, I would be able to see all of this, but I don't usually have my background dark. All righty. Anything else we want to see? Because I'm gonna start to wind us down. Let's see. KC thunderstorms. I've been doing call credit spreads on Disney for a few weeks. Yeah, if you those call credit spreads on Disney should be paying out. You should be paying regularly because Disney been doing the downwards ride for a while. Our call credit spreads or credit spreads masterclass is next Saturday. Gonna learn how to use credit spreads to make consistent profits without having to watch your charts all day. Even though some of us do watch our screens regularly, but we don't have to watch them all day. You're not necessarily watching your screens for entry or exit because you can put alerts on for that. Right? But people do watch their screens for all the other reasons. But many of us, including me, who are doing things during the day, like working and teaching the students, which is what I do. Other people have jobs. The credit spreads don't require that you have to watch them as closely. So if you know somebody who also wants to learn credit spreads and you want to share the wealth, tell them to come to the class and I'll give you some of the money. $20 to the person. For each person that registers based on your recommendation, I'll pay $20 of the $97 to you. I'll pay $20 to you. Chart your way to 100K. If you want a free charting cheat sheet, you can go to chartyourway-to-100k.com and grab a free way to 100k.com. Grab yourself a free charting cheat sheet. All the stuff I've talked about here and a few other things on how do you chart as quick as possible, because charting doesn't have to be an endeavor, doesn't have to take you all day to chart. Go ahead and grab hold of that. Chart your way to 100k.com. All right, please like and subscribe to the channel. Put the notification bell, put your thumbs up, all the good things. I am wrapping up our call because it is storming outside, okay? And I'm going to be sure to be on in the morning. I'll be there on YouTube, if all goes well. And, if Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I'll be on YouTube in the morning at 8:30, all right? Make sure you pass the word. And I will talk to you all tomorrow morning. So, hey, let's stay green and let's get this money. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.